All right. Hello, my friends. And I want to say welcome back to another episode of the Health Detective Podcast. I don't know if this fully classifies as a Health Detective Podcast episode so much as it classifies as a very important public service announcement. And that is that we are on the last day of our Black Friday sale for not only our main course, but for the advanced courses as well here at FDN. If somehow, I always got to be careful because if somehow you just stumbled across this video, you're like, what's an FDN? Who's this guy? My name's Evan Transu. I go by Detective Ev, like Health Detective Ev here. And I do host our podcast and a lot of our events here at FDN. So today we're talking to the great Dr. Lori Rose, who is the creator of, I don't even know how many of our advanced courses at this point. Dr. Lori, do you know off the top of your head how many you've created for us?
I do. Yeah, right now it's 9, but there's more coming.
Well, it's such an exciting time for the advanced courses because when I graduated from FDN, we already had some, but it was a very small handful. I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 if you were lucky at the time. And now between you and Nicole Kruger, who manages that whole area for us and helps Dr. Lori and other creators get these advanced courses out, like it's kind of insane to see what the catalog's developed into. And I'm excited to see what's another 2 or 3 or 4 years. So one thing I'd like to address right before we get into this today, kind of 2 things really. One, if you somehow are not signed up for our keynote closing session today for Black Friday, please be there. It doesn't even matter if you're already an FDN trainee or graduate. I would almost argue it's equally, if not more important to be there if you are a trainee or graduate than if you're someone looking into the course. The keynotes that we occasionally do for major events, I think this is only like the 5th or 6th one we've ever done. They are always designed to show you guys what is possible with our super high achieving FDNs, the people that really take this program and run with it. So that's why anyone can attend here and get something from it. If you're looking into FDN, I think it's super important to be there and know what you could get from it. If you're a trainee, it kind of inspires you to keep going along and show you what your future could look like. And if you're a graduate, you probably are going to get things from it today that you can apply right now. So that's what the great Leah Brueggemann, she is approaching, and this is insane to even say out loud, she's approaching a 7-figure FDN business. Now, if you do not know numbers very well, 7 figures means 2 commas, my friend. That is a $1 million a year FDN business. Now, how the heck could you possibly do something like that? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. That is going to be on our YouTube. So if you're already here, 1 o'clock Eastern today. So that'll be 2 hours from now exactly. We'll be streaming live here. Or you can go to I think it's fdntraining.com/FDN Black Friday. That'll get you that link. And we will get there. Let's move into the advanced courses though, because we do have a sale on the main FDN course. And that is $2,000 off, largest Black Friday sale we have ever done. Actually, the largest sale we've ever done in general since this course's inception in 2008. So kind of cool to be breaking a record with that this year. $2,000 off the course. It is good until 11:59 p.m. Pacific today, Monday, December 1st. But we also have some sales on our advanced courses. But as we kind of talk about them, and if you guys have any questions, this is the time, because remember, Dr. Lori's created 9 of these things just herself, and we can answer probably some questions about other ones as well, but we'll talk about the specific ones she has created and how they would benefit you or who should consider going through them. 2 things you need to know about our advanced courses before you get going with this. This podcast, this public service announcement, whatever you want to call it. 1, you do not need to be an FDN to get an advanced course here. You do not need to be an FDN to get an advanced course here, although certainly they have a nice effect when they are combined together. But more importantly, this is something that really matters, Dr. Lori, and I'm only spending a few moments on it because it comes up a lot. So someone that today might be considering the main FDN course, they almost get overwhelmed. Because when I say hey, we're on upwards maybe of 20 advanced courses at this point, they almost get intimidated and they start to think, well, wait, are these guys just going to sell me this main course and then I need to do all these advanced courses to be able to be an effective FDN? The answer is no. And it's an absolutely no. The advanced courses, the same reason that you do not need them to be a successful FDN, although they're very useful, is the same reason that someone who is not an FDN can go through them. I actually loosely, this is just the Ev way of wording them, I like to call them intensives sometimes as opposed to advanced courses. That's not to imply that the material's not advanced, but I understand from the consumer's perspective, they think advanced means, okay, I do this, and then to get further along, I have to advance to these courses. Whereas as an intensive is kind of all right, let's dive deep into one specific topic or set of topics, and you can decide and choose how you want to add that on. So I have been an FDN for 9 years. I've done a small handful of advanced courses, and this is not to say they're like, well, Ev, wait, why do you not go through them? I have not needed them to be an effective practitioner in my niche. But for some of you, with your specific niches or the types of cases that you want to take on, or if you just have a goal to be the best type of clinician that you can be, if that's your side of things, I like the business side a lot, right? So I team up with smart clinician people like Ryan Monahan, who, by the way, loves your advanced courses and has been through almost all of them at this point. So I team up with people like him so I can figure out the business side and do my marketing and sales stuff that I like, and steal from his brain, and then vice versa. So Dr. Lori, formal welcome to, again, maybe not a podcast today, but back to our YouTube and other live platforms. We're super glad to have you. With all that prefaced, let's dive into this. I think the obvious first one to start with is, if we can, could we just do a high-level overview really quick? We don't even have to get into specific ones and what they all entail, but I'm just saying, can we touch on what those 9 advanced courses are that you have created for us over time?
So yeah, I actually have a whole plan for this. So I'm going to talk about each of the 9 ones and kind of talk about how to think through the order that you might consider buying the courses, the order in which they were created, and why.
Okay.
So as I'm bringing that up, I do want to hold on. Here we go. I want to dispel a myth first and foremost.
Oh, you're sharing? Okay, let me bring it up.
I am. Can everyone see that?
Yes, I brought it up for you now. You're good.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I want to dispel a myth that I see pop up in the chat a lot. And it's that the older courses are more obsolete. And so you want to start with the newer courses. And for my courses specifically, that's not necessarily true. So people who don't know me, I teach a college level holistic program. So it's thousands of hours of holistic content. And essentially what I do for FDN is I take those college level topics and turn them into intensives for you all, whether you've already been through the FDN program, as Ev said, or if you're just wanting to learn about those topics. So my thought process in all of my courses is sort of like, you start here at the bottom and move your way up. And I call it the roots and branches of wellness. So if wellness, or the human body, right, or health is this tree, the tree of life, then health really starts down here at the roots, right? So the roots in the soil feed the trunk, and the trunk feeds these branches of organ system wellness in the tree. And when I first came on to FDN, I knew this paradigm and this thought process. It's how I work with all of my clients. I always start here and work my way up. So that's the order I created the courses, right? So all of the roots in the soil were the first created courses, and we kind of move our way up as we get more specific to organ level courses. They're all wonderful courses. And if you know you have like a cardiovascular system course and you just want that course and you want to skip all the others, you can do that. But if you're just sort of like, I am making this 10-year plan of I want to add to my knowledge and I want to make sure I can help every client with everything, then you might want to start at these bottom root level courses, because they'll have the biggest arch, right? The biggest umbrella, and how much they're able to help clients. And so I'm going to go through the 9 courses and sort of go in where they fit into these roots and branches of wellness. And the first one is the coaching and emotional wellness course. We've talked about this a lot on Ev's podcast. It's just such a heavy hitter. And I think what it does is it accomplishes 2 big holes, like training holes that we get as holistic practitioners. Like, we learn how to read labs. We learn how to make these awesome protocols. We learn how to tell people how to change their lives for the better. But these 2 major holes happen where clients will sometimes do some of our protocols and not all of them, and they get stuck, and we don't really know how to help them through that resistance. And we know that dealing with stress is a major health component. It's an entire root, right, of this tree. And if we don't deal with that root, your tree's going to topple over. So we know how to say, hey, deal with stress, minimize your stress. but we don't really have concrete tools on how to help our clients do that. And that's what this first course does. The coaching part of the course helps our clients through the resistance part, anywhere where they're stuck in our protocols and they don't really know why they're just not doing that part of the protocol. Coaching behavior change and motivational strategies are that part of the course. And then anywhere where they have stressors in their life where they don't have the toolkit or the practical, like, okay, do this, this, and this as you're working through these stressors, that's the emotional wellness part of this course. So even though it's one of the older courses in the FDN Advanced course, it definitely is not obsolete. In fact, I think it might be one of the number ones to start with because it will impact literally every client you have. And then the second sort of, oh, I went the wrong way. Sorry, guys. The second root-based course is the weight loss course. Now, I have it down here because the weight loss course isn't just about weight loss. In fact, it doesn't even have to be about losing weight. It's really about how to eat whole foods correctly, how to move correctly, how to connect with your circadian rhythm and maximize sleep, because those three things are key facets of not only weight management and body composition control, right? But it's also like three major roots of this tree. So that might be another one that you start with, because even if your clients aren't wanting to lose weight, everyone is eating food, moving their body, sleeping, and those three branches really have to be regulated. The next one would be the mitochondria course. This is another oldie but goodie. In fact, it might be the second one I ever created for FDN, because it's the trunk of this whole tree. If you're feeding these roots, if you've been in FDN, you know the FDN paradigm is diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, right? That's essentially the roots. Well, once you've got that accomplished, addressing mitochondria is going to be probably the number two. If these are the number one place to start, addressing mitochondria is the number two place to start, because the mitochondria in the body feed all of the other cells, organs, tissues, etc. If your mitochondria aren't dialed in, nothing else is going to be dialed in. Nothing else will work. And so mitochondria, again, even though it's an older course, it's a huge heavy hitter. It's going to affect each and every client, no matter what their health issue is. So that's probably one I would take earlier on. And then as we move up that tree out of the trunks, we have a blood sugar regulation course. Again, I have it as one of the lower branches because blood sugar impacts everything. And so that's one of the first organ systems to kind of dial in. And then we have, of course, the immune course and the heart health course. So these are organ-specific courses that you might choose if you have a client with that health issue and you want to dive into it. I put an asterisk here on the immune course. And the reason for that is the immune course is 4 different topics. We get into the innate immune system, adaptive immune system, autoimmunity. We get into long COVID, we get into vaccine safety, all sorts of things in that course. But the first section of that course, and the reason why I put this star here, is all about prevention, for making sure our clients are doing the daily preventative maintenance to circumvent immune health issues in the first place. And so this might be one that I would even consider down here at the roots. I almost put it down here, then I didn't want to confuse everybody. But that first part of the immune course is going to address these roots and affect everyone as well. So even if you don't have specific immune related clients, you might want to tap into that one earlier than maybe the heart health one, unless you just have a heart health client. And then there are 3 other courses. These are the last of the 9 that don't really fall into organs or roots, but they are, I think they are crucial training for people, not just all people. All people, I think, could benefit from these, but especially people in the health field where there's so much misinformation, so much bad science, so much debate and controversy. The scientific literacy and critical thinking courses, they are short, sweet, cheap with this sale. They're almost free. So they're kind of no-brainers for everyone in the health field. That's kind of how I think about these two courses. And then the herbalism course is so in-depth, so thorough that it's probably the only herbal course you'll ever have to take. And the way I explain the herbalism course and why you might think like, well, I'm not an herbalist, why do I need that course? Well, we know as holistic health practitioners that whole food works better on the body compared to supplements, right? Like you need whole foods, you may need supplements, but supplements can't overcome a bad diet, right? There's supplements to a good whole food diet. Well, unless we're using whole food herbs, then we're really just using herbs in their supplement form. And so approaching herbalism from a whole herb perspective, where you're using the actual plant, just like whole foods, you're using the actual food. Whole food herbalism makes your herbal protocols more powerful, more effective, usually more affordable. And so really, I think everyone, if you're using herbs as supplements, you should learn to also use herbs in their whole herb form. That's all in the herbalism course. It goes through every organ system, tells you how to think about whole herbs for each organ system, herbal formulation, DIY herbal medicine making if you want that. You can skip it. You don't have to use it, but it's in there for you. It is so thorough that, again, you may never have to take another herbalism course again. So these are the 9 courses. That's sort of the paradigm or the thought process and how they're created, the sort of flow of them. Again, you can take them individually. They're great standalone intensives. But if you're, if you can buy a bunch, or if you're thinking through your long-term plan, this is sort of how I would go through that approach. Any questions?
Let me unmute myself. No direct questions yet. Just wanted to, this is a good opportunity to shout this out. I left it on the bottom of the screen, but if you guys want to get the discount for this, it is not automatically, I think, there we go.
Yeah, I just created some chaos.
Yes. It is not automatically added. So you do have to add a direct code for it. And you guys have it at the bottom of your screen. It is BF25 off for 25% off. I don't want to make anyone upset here, but I will say our graduates, and only our graduates, do get an additional discount if they are in our graduate group. So I think it's about standard for them is 20 or 25% off, but this is the best sale we do to the public each year. Just so you guys know. So I think there might've been one event we did a 30% off. I don't want to misspeak. It was like for a day. But everything else, this is the best one that you can get for the public. So if you are in AFDNP, make sure you're reading those emails, or if you're confused, go comment there because you can get something even better. And what's awesome is it doesn't affect the creators of the course. So you actually get a discount and you're still supporting them, which is amazing. 25% off for the public though, not too bad. So let's see what we got here. Brianna, obviously I just got your question, but I know that you had asked before. So Holly even made this. This is amazing. So Holly has been making all of our Discovery Series things for Black Friday, Lori, which was kind of like I'll put it this way to you, something that you would understand on our marketing side, like Summer Open House, where it was like 20, 30 events, and she's been on all of them. And now in the course and on the podcast, which is great. Thanks for being here. All right, we got Zoe. Always love seeing your name, Zoe, because it's not all the time. So you kind of disappear. At least you don't comment, and then you come back. So I get a little dopamine hit. So that's great. Do you have to complete the post-grad interview to enroll in AFDNP, or can you join after the oral exam is passed? Very smart, Zoe. I think I know what she's trying to do there. So you do have to be graduated to join AFDNP. And I actually even think you do have to complete the post-grad interview. I could be wrong. Zoe, if you're that close and you're really looking to do something like this, I always open my mouth and then I get myself in trouble.
Well, just email us. Yeah.
I always.
But then we're making promises for other people. Yeah.
Yeah, Zoe. I know we're added somewhere together. So, I can find your email in 2 seconds on HubSpot. I'll get you in an email. I will figure out if it's possible. I'm not being funny. That truly is not my department. So no, if they say no, they're not being mean or bad people. I'm just seeing if there's something that we can do if you're that close. But if there is a certain standard that they follow, I have to respect that and do that. I think because if you're really like after the oral exam and you are technically quote unquote graduated, but you're just missing the PGI, that seems really silly. And I do think we can pull something off for you there. So I'll find you on HubSpot, and that's our CRM, and I'll get your email, and then I will put you in an email in like 2 seconds after that. You guys got any questions about Dr. Lori's courses? By the way, thanks for making that little tree of courses there. I thought that was really cool and helped explain it pretty well. And see, Zoe, this is why you deserve it. She says, it's no worries either way. Thank you. When people are pleasant, doesn't that make you want to help out even more, Dr. Lori? You're like, all right, let's figure this out.
I do, yes.
No, very cool. Let us know if you guys have any questions about the courses. Do you know offhand which one of your courses has been the one that like people have taken the most? Is there?
Oh,
That might be a Nicole question. Sorry, but I'm just kind of curious.
my guess, and I'm totally making this up with zero evidence. If Nicole's here, I would love that info. My guess is the weight loss course would probably be the number one sold course, just because it's such a like hot topic. But I don't know.
Well, that's very telling though anyway, because that's not like it's not like that's your oldest course or something, because that would make sense. The oldest one has the most sales. That's in the grand scheme, I would call it relatively new. So the fact that that is already one that sticks out to you, that's kind of cool that people are using that. Also, I wouldn't say sad's not the right word. It's just more crazy to me how like that seems to be a never ending market. You know,
Right.
like it just always keeps going. So I love that we're people that can actually truly help them. Hopefully, this is the last thing that they need to do and can understand the weight thing finally and understand what's
Yeah.
causing it.
Yeah, and I
Um,
did want to say, like, and that's sort of why I mentioned it when I was going over it. Like, it's not just a weight loss course. It really is like how to just eat to fuel your body, move to fuel your body, connect with the outdoors and reduce stress and sleep right. Like, it's really just like, what do our bodies need to thrive? And if your client happens to also tack on weight loss on top of that, here are some very specific concrete strategies to do. And y'all, it's different than any other weight loss course that exists. Like, it's not calorie cutting and macros and getting on the scale. Like, it is a very unique perspective. And I just think it's such a cool course.
awesome. Perfect timing, Lisa. Thank you. And again, Zoe, if you can't tell, my crackhead caffeine self is actually doing all of this while alive, so we'll get that figured out for you. Once graduated, my niche will be perimenopausal and menopausal women. Can you suggest best courses for this? Well, Dr. Lori, I'd like to hear from yours first, because in my head immediately, I'm actually thinking there could be another useful course that was not created by you, but I'm sure there's at least one or two that would be great for this. So what would be coming to your head first?
Yeah, so mine for sure to suggest one that I've created is the weight loss course. Again, we don't have like a specific perimenopause or menopause section, but we do mention those in the course. And also a cool thing about the weight loss course is we had 2 live Q&As. And so menopause and perimenopause were covered in those Q&As. But I do know the courses Ev's talking about, so I'll let him suggest those as well. We have great hormone courses, so I'll let Ev tell you about those.
Yes. So guys, do you remember that there's other advanced courses out there. This sale applies to all of them, which is great. So if you're in FDNP, our graduate group, you can get that for 40% off, and you can still get 25% off with the code that we've listed below, which I will continue to share. In terms of like the obvious one that goes to my head, where it's like, all right, if my niche is gonna be perimenopausal and menopausal women, well, I guess 2 nowadays would be obvious. One's just a little bit newer. I would probably start, knowing what I know, I would probably start with our advanced stress and hormones course.
Mm.
And Lisa, if you are, I'm guessing you said one's graduated, so I'm guessing you are actively in the course now. Maybe you just started, but you do learn a lot about hormones in the main FDN course. It's actually one of the first things that we dive into. There's not a lot of fluff in the course. It's like, all right, here we go. You're diving in head first. So the advanced stress and hormones course, in my opinion, is actually specifically for people who would be like you that are taking on that type of niche. Can you help them regardless? 100%. That's how FDN's designed. But this is exactly what I meant earlier when I said, depending on what niche you're in, and I think Lisa was like listening perfectly. That's why she even said, this is what my niche is. That's when I would use that, because you're going to be able to talk the talk better. You're going to have a deeper understanding. And there might be things that come up for your clients that, hey, maybe you would have normally needed a clinical advisor consult for that, but you don't need that in that moment because you went through the advanced stress and hormones course. So just something to think about. That's important. And the other one that came out recently is Paula Reed, one of our clinical advisors, created one all about hormone replacement therapy. That's more of a crash course. I think it's only about an hour and a half of content. It's not to diminish it. I'm just saying it's like very hyper focused. This is why I typically call them intensives, because that's how I see it with like a 1.5 hour type of thing. I would not start there. And I think if Paula was here, she would actually agree with this. This is not to, again, say one course is bad, one course is good. It's just what's most relevant for you. I don't think you need to know about the hormone replacement therapy stuff from day one. The Advanced Stress and Hormones course makes a lot of sense. There's well over 10 hours of content in there. You do also learn about the Dutch, which, hey, we share all opinions on here. I'm not going after Dutch as the company, but we've had Dr. Aaron Gonsher on, who is no dummy. He's a scientist and a brilliant man. And he has talked about some of the issues maybe with the science behind that. But nonetheless, we know our practitioners love the Dutch, and they do seem to get clinically relevant results. I would go through that course with the knowledge in mind. I would probably always add the salivary thing to the Dutch. You can get one with just urine. You also can get one with the salivary stuff. I would probably add that in. That's my humble opinion. But yeah, the Advanced Stress and Hormones course would make a lot of sense for you.
Yeah, and the way I kind of distinguish between the stress and hormones and Dutch course versus the weight loss course is the stress and hormones course is like, how do we use labs to think through what's going on with our clients? And then the weight loss course would be more, okay, now what do we do about it? Like, what are the very many lifestyle steps to help me walk my client through? So I think they make a great pair. And yeah, you mentioned the ones I was thinking about.
Awesome. Lisa said, thank you. Perfect. Cool. What else you guys got, if anything? I mean, maybe we shouldn't tease them like this if we're trying to focus them on the things today, but I am curious, what's like the one that I know that you always have like
Am I
several.
allowed to spoil? I don't know.
All right.
So
Let's just hint it. I'd like to know what you're excited
far
about.
away. So like March at the earliest, May, big, huge reveal. So it's not like, oh, don't buy anything for this Black Friday sale and waiting for this new series that I'm about to tell you about. Like, it's down the line, and there'll be a sale around that too. But it's not just one course, it's a whole nutrition series. So like I mentioned, I'm a college professor and I teach a nutrition 1 16-week course, a nutrition 2 16-week course, all the college level, right? So essentially what I'm doing for y'all is creating, oh my gosh, I think it's like, it will be equal to around 20 advanced courses, right? Like, so it's a series. It's a nutrition 1, 2, and 3 series going over everything I know about nutrition, right? From the very, very basics to the very advanced. It's very targeted nutrition for every organ system, every health issue. And y'all may or may not know, but FDN has, I don't know if it has a partnership with a nutrition-based board, where if you take that board exam and pass that board exam, you get a nutrition, like an advanced nutrition credential.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, this series is designed to train y'all to get that board credential, but also you can take it without wanting to pursue that board credential, right? Like, it is going to be huge and amazing.
Nice. And I hope that, because maybe the 16, how many is it? Yeah, 16 of you guys are on just live right now. So I'm sure all of you are about to buy advanced courses then. But let us know again if you need any clarity on anything, or even other advanced courses that pop up there. That's fine too. I can't stress enough though, because I know that people are generally more polite than not, but this does come up every now and then where they're like, well, why are there's so many? Why are you guys dedicated to keeping this going? Like, I thought, because I've been promoting FDN as, right, hey, this is all you need, Lori, to go start your business. So a personal trainer can start a business or even get a job with a 3-day certification. You can go through ACE, NASM, whatever. Like, I've done that myself. That is not to say, though, that you cannot become a significantly more advanced personal trainer or someone who can train the body physically by continuing to learn. So I don't know how to describe this. It's almost like there's some base things that you really need to know to get in the game. And FDN, to me, I always share this very transparently. I would say that when you have FDN and you have the system that we use, if you're going to use the 5 labs that we teach, even someone, I've been doing this for 9 years, even someone that I take on that is super sick, with the exception of like a terminal cancer or something. I hate that I even have to say that, but there's always someone that's going to be like, well, wait, are you saying it about that? No. That would be a case I'm not talking about. Pretty much everyone else, though, certainly everyone that I've worked with, I know in the back of my head, I can't say these claims out loud because it's the back of my head thing. I'm not making a claim, but I do kind of know that there's pretty much a guarantee I'm going to make them feel 60 to 70% better in the first 90 to 120 days of working with them. And this applies to people that might have been sick for even 10 years. So I know that about the main FDN course. Have I taken people through the main stuff that have gotten 100% better, at least in their mind? Yes, I have. But the reason that FDN is so powerful is because you walk through this program that there's no one that you're going to take through our stuff and do the foundational labs with that is going to say, oh yeah, that didn't work. I didn't feel any percent better with that. That happens 0% of the time. So the advanced courses from an FDN perspective, so not just from the public perspective, because again, anyone could add them on for a variety of reasons or purchase them for a variety of reasons. But an FDN might say, hey, you know what? With my specific clientele, I'm finding that this foundational stuff that I'm doing at FDN is getting me, I'm making up a number, 75%. Or my clients are getting 75% better in about 120 days, 100% of the time. And then, some of them start dripping a few percentages over time. Maybe they get to 80, 85, which is phenomenal. But you'll want some of those clients are going to want to be like, how can I go even farther? I want to know what my body's capable of getting back to health-wise. That's what these courses are so good for that. So one is not a replacement for the other.
Yeah.
One's value does not devalue the other ones. It's just when you're getting into a space where you're working with insanely sick people sometimes, how arrogant would we all need to be to think that, an 8 or 9 month course is going to cover all of that, like FDN, right? Guys, we know for a fact, because this is probably why you were all here, and no disrespect to them. For those of you that don't know, I always bring this up. I mean, my sister's a nurse, for gosh sake. Western medicine goes to school for a minimum of like 4, 5 to sometimes 12 years. And they can't even figure out the chronic disease epidemic. So
and
how
then they have a lifetime of continuing ed, right? That's like saying, oh, I have all these degrees and all these certificates, so I never have to learn anything ever again. That's not true, right? Like, you always keep learning. You always keep widening that umbrella. And I kind of think about it like how you said, like with the FDN umbrella and even the Roots advanced courses, that's kind of how I think about them. That umbrella is going to get 80, 90%. Right? But then what about the rest of the people, right? You want to widen that umbrella with more training. And then now you're at 95. Then you want to widen that with even more training. And so I think you described that perfectly. I think that's exactly correct.
Yeah. Like I look at this as, and it's not a competition, but when you join this space, and this is my opinion, I have no problem sharing. I'm not speaking necessarily on behalf of FDN. I do think you have a somewhat of an ethical obligation to dedicate yourself to at least some regular learning until we figure out this chronic disease epidemic, until someone can say, you know what, if I go to these people 100% of the time, my chronic disease is optional, cool, then you can stop learning. To me, we have some type of ethical obligation as long as people are crazy sick, and unfortunately, many populations just getting sicker and sicker. I would like to know that I am still trying to participate in the learning of all of this. I'm very spoiled because that's part of my job, right? I get to interview some of the coolest people in the world, like Dr. Lori, in this space. And learn new things all the time. But it could be a book. It can be a podcast. I'm not saying you have to go to school and study for another several years for this, but until we get this all figured out in our world, I do think that we have somewhat of an obligation to keep learning. And that can be through advanced courses. There's many free things that you can do as well. Zoe, this is great. So Zoe, I actually have my email drafted. That's the worst part. So do I even need to send this? Because Zoe just said, who may concern? I was able to enroll in AFTNP just now. My post-grad interview is Wednesday for reference. That's fantastic. So let me know. I don't need to charm Nicole Kruger to get the course code for you.
So Zoe, yeah, your 40% off code is in that Facebook group. So join the Facebook group, scroll down, and you'll see your code. So do that. Use that code on all of the advanced courses you buy.
Awesome. All right. I listen, we never want to stay on for the sake of staying on. Obviously, if you guys have questions, let us know, but you're still here. So I feel inclined to ask Dr. Lori at least one more thing. I would love to know this. Out of all the ones that you've created so far, so not this mega one that it seems like is in the works, which I'm very excited about. That just sounds super cool. Out of the 9 that are already out, which one would you say that you've been like the most proud of? Like the one that you think is like, hey, this is the one I really put a lot of effort into. And That's a terrible way to word it. I would hope that you put some effort into all of them, right?
Yeah.
But like the one that you're like, this was tough. This was super challenging and I got it done. I think that's kind of cool for people to know. So I would like to
They're
ask you that.
all like racing through my head right now. So I'm gonna be a rule breaker. That's just my personality, and I'm gonna give 4, and I'm gonna explain because they popped into my head.
All
So
right,
I feel like that means I should talk about them.
Sure.
Right. So coaching emotional wellness, like that course is my soul on paper, right? Like everything um from like a spiritual, emotional part of me and how that all plays into how I deal with clients and help clients. That is in that course. It's the longest course. It is the most heavy hitting, I think. And again, it fills 2 training holes that I think practitioners don't even know that they have, right? Like it's just so important. And then the weight loss course, I'm so proud of that one because it really pushes the norm as far as how we think about our bodies, how we think about body composition and weight. And I think it is key. It is a key paradigm shift that needs to happen in the health field. And I'm excited that y'all get that first, right? Like it is just such a game changer in the way we think about talking to our clients about weight and weight loss. Another one I'm super proud of is the herbalism course. Like it's literally everything I know about herbs is in that course. So I'm not joking when I say it's the only herbal course you'll ever have to take unless you just want to go get like a board certification in herbalism. It's so crazy thorough. And then the other one that popped into my head is the immune course that I think that's my newest course that came out. The immune course, I'm really proud of it because this fits into what we were just talking about. To create that immune course, it took me 2 years of continuing ed for me. Like I had to take 2 years of more courses, reading more books. I took probably 6 courses and read a dozen books that that I didn't know already, right? Like it required so much new learning for me that is now embedded in that course. It's not even in my college course because it was all new, like 2 years new. And so that's another reason I'm really proud of that course. So I didn't pick one, I picked 4, but that's less than half. I could have picked all of them.
I think that's okay. I'm dropping. Sorry, I didn't even think about that, guys. I'll drop the direct link to the advanced courses below. Another kind of convenient way to do this is advanced.
Oh, Zoe, I'm so excited you got coaching and emotional wellness. That's awesome.
Yes, Zoe. Actually, speaking of which, and not that I want to detract from anything, but what I would recommend, I don't even know how many of Dr. Lori's are actually in this, to be fair, because it's not all of them. There's like a select 6 or 7 that we can do. But guys, on that keynote today, which is at the bottom of your screen, 1:00 Eastern, we are giving away a couple of Amazon gift cards. So it's kind of cool. Help out with the holidays and stuff. And then we are giving away one singular advanced course. And the reason that I say this is because I get myself, again, this is another opening my mouth thing, getting myself in trouble, where I end up on these lives and our marketing team calls it Ev going rogue, where somehow 4 advanced courses get given away. And then we got to deal with that side of things because our lovely course creators still need to get paid, of course, as they should. And it doesn't come out of Ev's paycheck, so it's got to come from somewhere. So we are giving away 1 today, and 1 lucky winner will get that. So just letting you guys know, I'd get ready. I'd have the code up, which we had below, and we'll get it back again. Save it on a tab or something because you don't know what you could win today. And if you're on there, maybe you're that lucky person. So Zoe happened to have been that lucky person in one of our keynotes who won. That was like the mega giveaway. It was like the $1,000 advanced course of Lori's, and you happened to get that. So that was cool.
I love
that QR code above, there you go. Has the direct link to our advanced courses. I also dropped it in the chat. It's very easy to find, though, by the way, under Functional Diagnostic Nutrition.com, our main website, under About Us, which if I was on our website team, I might change that to like something else. But under About Us, there is an advanced courses section, and you can click on that or just type in functionaldiagnosticnutrition.com/FDN-advanced. Zoe said it was the best. That is amazing. Okay. I think we might be good here. Let us know in the chat if you don't mind who's getting an advanced course today, and let us know what you are getting or what you're praying for if you're going to be trying to win on the keynote. That'll be amazing. But yeah, final plug for that is 1 o'clock Eastern today. We have our closing keynote for Black Friday. I should be on with you guys very shortly. I think somehow I'm already recruited tomorrow to start normal podcast duties. So I'm not sure how that happened, but we are back tomorrow with you guys for our normally scheduled programming. But this is the last day for Black Friday sales in general. For 25% off the advanced courses. You got to get it today.
What time? What's the cutoff?
11:59 p.m. Pacific.
Wait, Pacific. Okay.
And our folks hate time zones. So I always let them know that is the time in California. 11:59 at night, California time. Same thing for our main FDN course, $2,000 off, up to $3,500 if you're able to pay in full. And shameless plug here. So paying in full is always the best. There's two things that you get for paying in full. I don't want to mislead you guys. This is not just for Black Friday. These two things apply at any time. You always, when you pay in full, get a $500 advanced course credit. And you always get a $300 lecture package credit. I'm not going to explain that right now, but the advanced course one is relevant. So in addition to those normal bonuses that you would get for paying in full, you basically can get an extra $1,500 off the main FDN course. So you can get $3,500 off, $500 credit for an advanced course, $300 credit for a lecture package. If you add it all up, I mean, it is literally over $4,000 in discounts and bonuses. So super fun. Okay, we'll go to these last ones here. Zoe's thinking of herbalism and maybe functional blood chem. Very cool. Both are useful. Lisa said maybe weight loss or stress and hormones. Awesome. Holly is sending in the prayer. She's praying to add herbalism. Really cool.
You get it, Holly.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Dr. Lori, thank you as always, especially I know we kind of had to do this last second, so I really appreciate your flexibility in getting this done and somehow brought us the tree of advanced courses and presented this to us today. So you rock as always, and I'm looking forward to whatever you got next.
Yep. Thank y'all so much for having me, and good luck, everyone. And I'll see you in my courses.